All right, we're live here at the Enright Sportsbook and Lounge, and today we have a special guest, Mr. Jason Sims. What's up, Jason?
Hey, what's going on?
All right, so if you didn't know this already, Jason Sims is the Bears.
Always
So
will
let's
be.
start off with that. Let's talk NFL. What have you thought about your Bears this year, and where are
Can
they
we change the
going?
subject? Is it hockey season yet? What's going on?
It's coming soon. It's coming soon, my friend.
Yeah,
Well, are they going to get it together? I mean, Caleb has had his moments, but he's also had some pretty poor moments.
yeah, I think it's the same old story. They could put together two or three good quarters and they can't put together a full game. And that's been the story since I was 12 years old, basically. So I don't really see that changing all that much right now. I still have total faith in Caleb and the coach. I just don't know if I have faith in the general manager, or the offensive line, and all the other things that they've never been able to do right.
Now, let's hope for their sake that they make some improvements. So, obviously, in a really tough division, especially with the way the Packers have been playing, can't be upset about that.
No.
But more importantly, let's talk about the Enright Sportsbook and Lounge Guillotine League. We're coming into week 3. We had a really exciting week too. But tell me some of the teams that you feel like they might be in trouble this week.
So it's definitely getting harder every week because some of the teams that I thought were really terrible obviously have loaded up with the salary cap and gotten a couple players in there to make themselves a little bit better. So I
There's been
did
some big spenders, hasn't there?
big spenders on some average players, if you ask my opinion. I looked at the team that lost this week. I'm like, I don't want any of them. And people were spending $300 on guys. I got a quarterback for $10. I was happy with that. So,
Yeah, Geno Smith, that was a good pickup.
needed a backup, $10, who cares, right? But $300, no thanks. I'm out for that one. But yeah, I looked at a couple teams. I did a little bit of a deep dive there to see what I could come up with. There was two teams that stood out to me that I thought had issues specifically for this week. Maybe not necessarily long term, but if you don't make it through this week, there is no long term. So I looked at your cousin Damon first, just Damon. My big concerns with them is that they've got a backup quarterback with Browning, which is a big issue, even though they've got a couple great receivers to throw to, or Browning does, not necessarily just Damon. But
Yeah.
then he's also got his receiver Wilson with a backup quarterback throwing to him. So to me, that made me nervous.
Yeah,
Or
and he was at projected at 83.71, and I agree with you. With Brock Purdy getting injured, he goes in with a Jake Browning, who didn't look too bad, but now he's facing the number 5 passing defense in Minnesota.
exactly.
Not an easy way of going. And then you take a look at AJ Brown, who's just been abysmal. I mean, it's 1.3, 5.2. I, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, really, the only person that's really helped him out is Bucky Irving. Garrett Wilson has been up and down, and certainly J.K. Dobbins. But I mean, he has to face a top 10 rushing defense this week. So,
They're the team I think's in the most trouble. After that, I looked at, was it Dan Minix or however you say his name?
Animaniacs, Mr.
Yeah, I
Dan.
mean, his big concern is if Jaden Daniels doesn't play, he's only got Carson Wentz. That's the only guy on his bench. At $10 for Geno Smith would look pretty good right about now for him, I think. If he doesn't play, I think he's in big trouble because I don't like the rest of his team at all.
I agree. Ashton Genty has been, I mean, not even average at best with
He's a
11
rookie. What do you
points.
expect? He's a rookie.
Well, he was highly touted, right? You know, they number one pick. You typically see that type of player. Again, sometimes they can get off to a slow start. I agree with you, but there were some big expectations with him, and then Pacheco,
Yeah.
no good.
Yeah.
Sutton was crap last week. Now, the only thing is Metcalf. Metcalf is facing a New England defense, which is the worst against the pass. So he does have that going for him. I agree. Jaden Daniels, he's questionable. He's not considered out yet, but he hasn't been practicing, and they're supposed to find out a little bit more tomorrow. If not, yeah, that could be some troubles. Well,
That's got
I
trouble written
agree
all
with
over it.
I
Yeah.
agree with you. Actually, Maniacs was one of the teams that I had listed. The other one that I had some concerns about, again, it not completely around their team, but really this week was the star move Mike McCormick. He does have Aaron Rodgers going against New England. Again, worse against the pass, but Aaron Rodgers really hasn't been playing that solid. Then you get Jamar Chase, fantastic. But again, going against Minnesota, fifth best against the pass.
Yep.
Igbuka, he's banged up, but he should be okay. But he's going against the Jets. Again, the Jets secondary can shut some people down. Hubbard's been great for him. He's, I think, around 15 points on each one of those. But again, Atlanta's a little bit different defense. And then Trey McBride, who, San Francisco, again, they're a top 10 defense against the pass. So start move Mike was my little one concerned. I was a little bit, shocked about, let's talk about your son, long shot Caden. Caden was down there. He's the third to the bottom. But yet, if you take a look at his team, they're pretty decent. What am I missing here?
There's a couple teams like that where I'm like, God, they're not expected to do really well this week. And you look at the players and they look pretty good. Like if we were doing head to heads, I'd maybe be more nervous. I almost put Caden on the list. I just couldn't do it to him. I gave him some slack there, but
that was really sweet
better. I think his team's better than the other ones that we mentioned, but hey, man, any given Sunday, you never know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, I mean, Ramondre Stevenson had a big week last week. Waddle is questionable tonight against Buffalo. We'll see if he plays, if he has to put somebody in. Kyron Williams has been middle of the road. He's a big player. He should be scoring a lot more points. And then Malik Neighbors is a maniac.
Yeah.
And you can pass against Kansas City, so you got to know that that's going to get some points. And Devonta Smith. Now, I know Philadelphia is getting Goddard potentially back, which is actually going to help Michelle at the 11th hour, who is projected the worst. So let's take a look at hers. I mean, she's got Montgomery. Montgomery's usually pretty solid, but he's been okay. She could probably move in Scattaboo to that place, which Tyrone Tracy hasn't been getting a lot of plays. It's starting to move towards Scattaboo. Again, Komet has been nothing to write home about. But again, if she gets Goddard back, I don't think it's as bad as it's projected. What are your thoughts on that?
Another one of those teams where you look at the names and you don't think they're as bad as they should be, but the performances have been poor, to say the least, for her this year. And sometimes teams will turn around and they'll click, and I think like the Bears or whomever, or the Jets or someone will start playing well. But it's hard to count on that every single week. So usually what you're seeing is what you're getting.
Yeah. And Jalen Hurts has been her savior. Matter of fact, week one, between her and him and Goddard, that was a big thing. And then the last one that was really close into there was MVP Terry, my father. He's got some big names in there, but he's got some of those players that, I don't know, it almost feels like they're past their prime, but yet still doing good. Like Kamara. Kamara had 36 points the first week, and then he goes, 2 points the next week.
I didn't think Big T was going to make it through week one. So the fact that he survived that first week, hopefully that bodes well for him. Terry, I'm always pulling for you, man. You know that.
Yeah. Well, and he's got Derrick Henry there, and Derrick Henry looked great the first week. It got shut down the next. Tyler Algier saved his ass on this last week. But with Joe Burrow, his quarterback, getting hurt, he's got to bring in Justin Herbert. You're talking about a different caliber type of quarterback, but Justin Herbert's been pretty solid this year.
He's been terrific. I would have him in my starting lineup if I was him personally.
Yeah. Well, like you said, every week is something new. You start afresh, and you never know what's going to happen. So I'm looking forward to it. Games tonight. You got Buffalo and Miami. Who do you like in that game?
I mean, come on. Seriously, if Miami is going to lose by 30 in this game is my thing. So I don't know what the line is. I know it's not 30, but
no, the line's minus 12.5.
I pound Buffalo. But then, of course, it's a Thursday night game, and those games never go the way you think they're going to go. So,
which is crazy because I think the line is like 41 or 42.5 for the over and under. You're going to find this surprising. I like the under. I think
Yeah.
the under is the right move on this one. So
Thursday games tend to go that way. They always like they're either really terrible games or very lopsided games, and then they don't play out the way you expect it. So
that is true. It kind of like the fantasy leagues. They should go a certain way and then they don't. So well, Jason, thanks for being on the show and giving us our predictions. Good luck to you this week, and we'll see what happens.
Bears.
Bears. All right. Have a great week, everyone. Get out there and survive.